really all eyes were on Adrian Peterson, and that's what this game was about. There was some talk that maybe
the only reason I watched,
they would just kind of mix in some carries, and it would be more of like a second quarter deal. No, he started the football game, which I think was the right move. You got to see what you got, right? There's limited opportunity. None of these guys are going to play in the fourth game, and he showed he still got something left. 11 carries for 56 yards. He showed some strength, some size. I was just kind of blown away just how powerful he still is at 33 years of age. Impressed everybody. The problem is nobody else really impressed. Some of the backups, Capri Bibbs made a few plays. He had a 38-yard run.
Capri Bibbs
had a couple catches.
Capri Bibbs touched the ball 4 times and got 61 total yards.
You'll take that every single week.
Not bad.
A lot of people that think he probably locked up a spot. Who knows? The other guy that I thought that jumped out at me that played pretty good and had a pretty lackluster preseason so far, and I'd heard even in camp hadn't looked that good, was Kevin Hogan. Hogan looked pretty good.
Yeah.
2 touchdown drives. I know the one throw I remember in particular.
Well, Hogan might be starting the 4th game.
Yeah, he was probably going to play the whole game.
Yeah.
Colt McCoy, of course, got a hand injury to the point where just serious. They may have to start him on IR, and Hogan will be the backup.
Right.
So who knows? I think Hogan, 4 or 5 days ago was on the outside looking in of making this roster, but he had a strong showing. And then McCoy gets hurt, so who knows how this is going to play out here.
He loves when quarterbacks in front of him get nicked up.
He's got to love that, right?
Why not? Why wouldn't you?
You don't want to be in that position.
McCoy's injury is the throwing hand?
I think so. But the defense, that was a little bit more disconcerting to me. They weren't able to pressure nearly as well as they did the week before in week 2 of the preseason. And certainly I didn't think stop the run nearly as well. If you look at some of the team stats, it's kind of jarring. They gave up 397 total yards, 248 yards passing. They gave up 149 yards on the ground.
5 yards a carry.
Half of that is, backups, guys that aren't going to be here. But, at halftime it was 17-3, and there was nothing really that exciting other than AP.
But like you said, the only reason to really watch was to see what AP
That's
had.
what that game was about.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I don't think we have the audio of it, but Jay basically is saying we just want to get to week 1 healthy, with as many healthy guys as possible. That's all he cares about. And I think if you look at it, and some people have broken this down since they've been really tracking snap counts, et cetera, over the last few years, this might be the fewest snaps our first-team offense has had since, 2012, since the stats have really been locked in. It's just not getting a lot of work.
And the question is that carry over to week 1 of the regular season?
Who knows?
I don't think it does.
Who knows?
Yeah, I just don't know.
You could see Smith come out on fire in week 1 and forget completely about the preseason duds.
We do have some audio. I'd like to hear some of that. Alex Smith, who had kind of a lackluster game. I think he was 3 for 8 for 33 yards, something like that. I don't have the box right in front of me. I think it was something like that.
That's exactly what it was.
He was asked, of course,
once.
as everybody was, about AP.
Alex, what did you think of Adrian Peterson's performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought he did a really nice job. Tall order. I mean, the guy just got here, got up in a football. I thought he did. Like I said, getting up to speed, mentally knowing what we're doing, and then I thought going out there and just playing. He still looks pretty strong and explosive. I think it was good to get him in rhythm, see what he can still do.
Jay, of course, asked what he thought of Adrian's performance.
You see from Adrian Peterson tonight?
I saw the big guy running pretty hard, really. He had a 5-yard average, I believe, had a couple good bounces. And, the thing I liked about some of his runs is it looked like they were like gains of 1s, and he'd fall forward for a gain of 3. The first run of the day, I thought it was a 3-yard gain. He ends up 2nd and 3. And, of course, we took a sack that we should never take on the next play. But I was impressed with Adrian the way he ran.
I'm guessing he's happy that Josh Allen isn't his quarterback. He took 5 sacks in the Bills.
And his head hit the turf real hard on one of them.
He was evaluated for concussion. I believe it was cleared.
I think he was cleared.
I believe he was cleared.
But he did not have a great game. You're right.
Who knows how he'll feel. All right. And then,
look, these teams really start taking.
They do. They do. But they don't really game plan.
No, they don't game plan, but you're seeing the ones play a lot more. Yeah. And so it's going to be much tougher for a rookie.
Yeah. I'm most concerned about the defense. I don't know. We can open it up to you guys out there that watch the game. What jumped out at you? I know all the negative Nellies come out. My Twitter feed was going crazy with everybody just bailing on the season already, which is fine. I mean, I have them 5-11, my last projection, but I'm not basing it on the preseason. I'm just basing it on the schedule. But I know I was frustrated. I thought I was going to see more push from the kind of the front seven, the front 3 or 4 guys. The Allen Payne combo, I was hoping I was going to see a little more from. And man, I didn't see a lot of pressure.
Well, because they looked so good against the Jets last week. So
got excited.
You know what? They're going to build on this.
Yeah.
Took a step back.
That to me was the most disappointing thing. I think that Alex Smith will be fine. I think Peterson will certainly be serviceable. And I assume when we get Crowder and Thompson and Reed and those guys that we'll be able to move the chains.